So today I'm working on the radio in the 2003 Accord. I'm going to show you what's one of the very common problems with this era of Accord, 2003 through 2007, the 7th generation. So the stock radio goes in this area, has the radio and also all the heating and air controls down here. And so if you're having display problems with your radio, it's probably something called the block. All right, and I've had to replace mine before, so I guess you hang on to the car long enough, you end up having the common problem more than once. There's a resistor on a circuit board in there that apparently goes bad and causes the display to have issues. So if you have a radio that the LCD, will flicker, or the problem I'm having with the current block is that all my HVAC lighting, the backlighting on the controls down here, doesn't come on. So that's another one of the issues. So there's a eBay seller called OEM Car Audio, and I used them before. Their stickers on the block that's in the car now, and then I just ordered another block from them. Basically, you want to look at your radio, and I'll show you a code on the front of the radio in a second, but you want to match that up, and you can get their eBay listing, and then they'll send you the right block for your radio. Okay, so obviously normally all this is together. I already took the radio out here, but I'll show you how to get that out. This is obviously snapped down when the radio's in place. So what you want to do is you need to pull out on this. So when this is snapped in here, you can take like an interior trim tool and kind of get in this little gap here and try to force it out like this, and it'll pop it up. This is actually about the hardest part of the whole ordeal, is just trying to get that top part off. So pop that forward and up, and then the other tabs back there will pull out. And then the radio itself, you see these three little silver pieces here where the screws thread into. So there's 3 screws that hold the radio in there, and then other than that, it's just the wiring that's attached to the radio. You just pull the radio directly out towards you, and then undo the wiring up at the top. Get my light fixed up here. Up at the top, you'll have this plug and these 2 plugs up high, and then there's this blue one down low. And then you have the antenna that plugs in there as well. And then I have this extra little box right down here that is the converter box from my Sirius XM radio. Has a stereo wire with RCA plugs on the other side of that. And then this wire goes and plugs into the CD changer plug on the bottom side of the radio. So that's like an extra thing for my radio. Okay, so let me go show you the radio and the block situation here. All right, so here's the stock radio. There are companies that sell aftermarket radios online. There's been a whole lot of problems and complaints with those. A lot of these, the radio itself, the aftermarket radio doesn't look that expensive, but then all I really see online is a whole lot of complaints about it. One of the companies that had a lot of complaints was called Seicane, Seicane. They had a whole lot of complaints. Another problem with the aftermarket radios, a lot of times the HVAC controls won't work with the new radio. So I've just been replacing the block on the stock radios. So to find the correct block, what you want to do is look at this code right here, 4-character alphanumeric code. So you see mine's 7FY0. And so then you go on eBay, look for the listing that matches that code, and then this is the block right here. So this is what they'll send you. And you see the code right there. They've got the code on this one, and then the code's also on my other one right there. Like I said, it's the same company. They put the code on there. This is the code that you're going to need to input once you hook power back up to the radio. So this is actually quite easy to swap out the block. You just have a couple screws on each side right here and 2 on the other side, and then the thing just pulls out like that. I'm going to put the new one in there, and we're going to put this whole assembly back in there. I'm going to use a 8mm socket for this. So one thing I like about replacing the block is there's no compatibility issues. You put the new one in, you hook power back up, enter the new code in there, starts up like it should, operates as it should. The reason I replaced this another time is because it's just been so long that this one's been in there. Like I said, the backlighting was messed up. Okay, so slid the old one out. All right, and that is it. Ready to go back in the car. So you can see where the plugs go across the top there, and then that blue plug will go right here, and then the CD changer plug for that little converter for my Sirius XM radio goes right there. Antenna goes in over there. All right, so hopefully you can see part of what I'm doing here. All right, CD changer in the bottom. Antenna. There's a little plastic clip for the antenna wire. So the blue plug goes in the back of the block. All right, the greens go up high. The gray one goes in the middle. All right, so everything's plugged back in, so the radio just simply slides back into place here. All right, it's got the anti-theft light flashing on it. Let's go ahead and put in the code here. Okay, so you hit the power button, it says code. This one is 31134. There we go. Okay, so that's working. Now, the part that wasn't working before, there we go. All that backlighting, all that was out before. So really annoying. I mean, obviously I know the car well enough to know where the controls are, but it's just embarrassing to see the whole center part here basically devoid of lights. So got all the backlighting for the buttons up here, the different channel preset knobs there, all the HVAC. That was the part that I was missing. So once again, this is a super common error or problem with the 7th generation Accords. Either your display here will flicker, I've had that before, or just your lighting here will go out. So it's solved with getting a new block. So I found this one from eBay from OEM Car Audio. I think it was around $120-ish, something like that. They send it up all packaged up nicely with packing peanuts and stuff like that, and they've got the code included. So if you look at the code there and match that up to the eBay ad and then send them a message and just tell them what your code is, they'll make sure you get the right radio. And once you plug that block in and plug the radio back in and put the code in, you're good to go. It works just like normal. So I just had to reset the clock and my presets and stuff like that. But that's it. Like I said, I've had this problem a couple times before. I don't solder circuit boards or anything like that, but that other block, I could try to get someone to solder a new resistor in there for me, but that's apparently the only problem with that. But they'll rebuild the whole block and make sure that everything's functional, because that's where all your CD changer stuff is as well. So they'll make sure everything is functional for that. So, you know, pretty nice way to restore the radio back to factory original. All right, so from here, I'm going to put the 3 screws back at the top here, like I showed you. And then once that's in place, then I'm just gonna snap that down and back on top of that, back in place like it's supposed to be. The cubby and the ashtray I'd actually pulled out to get access to my little stowed away cigarette lighter and power cord adapter there. So that's why all that's out of there, but radio's back in there once I put those screws in and put that top back on. So that's it. All right, hope that will solve a problem for somebody. All right, thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you for the next video.